We came out too early. Sorry. Just go about your business for another minute, okay? And then it'll get real exciting. Don't mind us. Okay. Katie turned my microphone off. She wanted me to stop talking. I'm just going to stand here and look like I'm about to talk for 45 seconds. Restart the countdown? Restart it? All right, back to 5 minutes. Colleen wants us to restart. So, sorry. No, go about your business. What's that?
We are not a joke, Zoe.
Josh is feeling sensitive tonight, everyone. Oh, here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome to Naked Faith, everybody. It's lovely to have you here. My name is Andrew, and I'm going to be one of your hosts for this evening. And sitting back there on the old drums is Joshua Carr. Everybody say hi, Joshua Carr. Hi, Joshua.
I have my own mic.
That's a dangerous thing.
You guys want to hear my Grinch impression?
Yeah, let's hear it.
The Grinch.
That was good. Very good, Josh. Everybody clap. All right. Well, it's lovely to have you here. We're going to say a few more words after this song, but first we're going to sing another song. Because music, if you didn't know, is a very important part of worship for us, and maybe for you too. Sometimes we like to, oh my God, sorry. Oh my goodness, I didn't know it was on max volume there. Sometimes we play secular music, like Paramore, because Paramore's awesome. But also, there can be messages in there that are still meaningful to us. And really, just being able to sing together, experience music together, kind of revel in the lyrics together, that's a spiritual practice. But then sometimes we sing a worship song. And this is one that we wrote as the Naked Faith Band. So I'd invite you all to be upstanding as you are able. Rise, people!
Do it!
Thanks, Josh. We haven't played this one in a couple months, but we'd love for you to sing along. It's fairly straightforward. The lyrics are on the screen. And just, blast it out of your vocal cords. Are you ready? All right. But James has a very special guitar today. Can you hold that up for everybody to really see, James? Look at this thing. Isn't that cool? Now, you're about to have a second round of applause because James built that himself. Whoa! He told us he had many sleepless nights getting that ready in time, but I think it was totally worth it. It's awesome. So in honor of James' guitar, as well as the spirit of the season, We're going to sing a little Christmas carol here. James is going to play it first, and then we're all going to sing it together. Okay? Do you want to guess what Christmas carol it is based on his guitar? Good guess. You're so smart. That was like a riddle. All right, are you ready, James? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Your boughs so green in summertime, they bravely green in wintertime. Oh, Tannenbaum, oh, Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Celebrate and congregate in love. We will advocate and try to rise above. Nice and loud now. Breathe and grab a hand. Grace when you arrive. Sing and find your voice. Let's make the darkness. Breathe and grab a hand. Place when you arrive. Sing and find your voice. Let's make the darkness divide. Find your voice. 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 Together we'll shine. Find your voice. Find your voice. Well, welcome to Naked Faith, everybody. It's nice to have you here. Are you coming out here with me, Josh? Yeah. Come on here. Hey.
Hey.
Well, we're really happy to have you all here. Just feel weird sitting like right beside each other. Can you move over? Thank you. That's better. Yeah, a little further.
Yeah. Have a sad Christmas.
Well, we're... I immediately regret giving you your own microphone. Welcome to Naked Faith. For those of you who have been here before, welcome. For those of you who haven't been here before, Naked Faith is an alternative worship service aimed at youth and young adults, but open to everybody. What we do is we play some music, as I was going to say as I alluded to, but we just played 2 loud songs, so you probably got that we play music. Because music is a big part of spiritual practice for us. And then we talk a little bit about a theme, we explore a theme. Our kind of goal is not necessarily to give you answers, but instead to just explore things, maybe ask some questions, share some thoughts we've had while we've been kind of wrestling with this theme for the last month as we've been writing it. And hopefully you leave and you can take something away from today. That's sort of our goal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. Before we get going, Is there anything else we want to say, or we just jump right into the land acknowledgement?
Let's jump right into it.
All right.
Everybody jump. 3, 2, 1.
That's what people did. Thank you. All right. So we always want to acknowledge, take this opportunity to acknowledge that naked faith occurs on the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Now, what I'd like to do, I didn't talk to her about it ahead of time, but I'm wondering if Tracy would actually light the Christ candle, because I don't know like how many candles of Advent we should light, because technically Sunday's the third one, right? But do we light it? I don't know what we're doing, so I'm going to ask our minister to just do what we need to do. I think we have the lighter here. Okay. Do you want to say anything? You don't have to. But now you have.
And you give a minister a chance to talk in a microphone. We will always take it. Yeah, exactly. So yes, we're lighting 3 candles. This coming Sunday is the last candle that we're lighting. So I will light the candle of hope, the candle of peace, and the candle of joy.
Lovely. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Tracy. Oh, my mic's Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome, Josh.
Do you want to stay up here? Okay, you don't have to. I'm talking for a bit, aren't I?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, okay. So let me tell you a little bit, let me introduce our theme, tell you about what we're talking about. The theme, as you can see on the screen, is Defiant Hope. Not just hope, Defiant Hope. We missed the Advent week of hope by a couple weeks, but hopefully you can just bear with us. When we were kind of thinking about what to do, part of what we were throwing around, and maybe this is a little bit because Josh and I are both in the mental health field, but December, the holidays, and winter in general can be a difficult time for some people. We know there's statistics that tell us over and over again that overall stress levels and mental health for people often get worse during this season. I think it's for a number of reasons, right? It could just be stressful. If you're a student, you got exams, final projects, things often get busier at work, and trying to get everything organized for Christmas. It's a lot. I think also for people, grief and loss is often brought up during this time. Anytime we have kind of a major event, a milestone, it can bring up those grief feelings. I mean, even just being dark outside all the time can have a big impact on our mood. So it's important to acknowledge this first. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. But at the same time, those of you who know Josh and I, we can't possibly do a Naked Faith in December and not gush about how much we love Christmas, because we love Christmas. We literally, I keep looking, where, oh, there you are. I couldn't, the music stand was in front of it, I kept looking back for John.
I love Christmas.
I think it was 2 years ago during the pandemic, one of our Christmas videos was literally titled Christmas is Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did have Christmas 2 years ago.
Thank you, Josh. But beyond just, that was kind of a fun take on it, but we genuinely believe Christmas can be a light that shines in the darkness of this time for many reasons. It's not about faking it, pretending it's all fine, bearing and grinning, putting on this disingenuous smile. We can't ignore those struggles that happen that I talked about, but what we can do is not let the hopelessness from those struggles take over. We believe that Christmas can represent a hope that is defiant in its nature. We can acknowledge the challenges while taking a defiant stand against hopelessness, and that's what we're going to explore today. And especially, we're going to talk about what it means in an active sense, not this passive mindset, but an active, action-based hope. And underneath it all, we think that this Christmas story that we hear about every year really represents a rebellious hope that boldly states that darkness never wins. Now, the first before we get into all that, we want to talk about this idea Josh and I were kind of tossing around of gatekeepers. That sometimes one of the things we run into is people become gatekeepers of Christmas. People say that Christmas should be a certain thing, that you have to celebrate it in the right way or have the right values associated with it. And I don't know if some of you saw, but there was actually an example of this in the news just like a couple days ago, I think, Josh?
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Josh. I think it was in Bowness. There was this letter that, did it go to one house or multiple houses? I forget that part.
Just one house.
One house. And this letter basically was written to this house that didn't have Christmas lights up and said, because you don't have Christmas lights up, you are a Grinch and you've ruined Christmas for the entire neighborhood and all the kids in it. That was kind of the point of it. Like, what? Like, first of all, and I think they actually did respond, and they have all of these kind of circumstances that mean they're not actually capable of putting up Christmas lights, can't necessarily afford them. Like, there's all sorts of things that get in the way, let alone some people don't celebrate Christmas, and that's okay too, right? So that kind of stood out to us, that sometimes people gatekeep what you should do on Christmas. But what we think is that's not really the Christmas spirit. And sometimes we also see it on kind of the secular and religious side of it, right? We see this debate. People say that secular Christmas has become too commercial, too materialistic. Others say that they don't want the religious stuff shoved in their face. And it's not that you're not allowed to have opinions or be critical of things. But what we're saying tonight, in light of our theme, is that when we become gatekeepers of Christmas, Sean Connery, when we become people who say, you're doing it wrong, we are neglecting the essence of the season and of the Christmas story. Regardless of how you celebrate Christmas, the same undercurrents are there. Love, gathering with friends and family, giving in whatever form that takes, and most important to us tonight, hope. Hope that the worst thing is not the last thing, that there is something better around the corner. And these are spiritual at the end of the day, right? Love, giving, hope. These are some of our most fundamental spiritual practices. And I think there's something spiritual in how you engage in this season, no matter what that looks like for you. So we want to push against this idea that some people have that Christmas is morphed into something it's not supposed to be. Instead, we want to encourage us to embrace that with more and more people celebrating Christmas in all different forms, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. And that Christmas and this underlying message of defiant hope is for everyone. And now Josh is going to take us through a little bit of what it means to not be passive in this hope, to actually put this hope into action. You're welcome.
All right. Big round of applause for Andrew. Hope is something that we often think about abstractly, something we often grasp at and then throw out into the universe in hopes that something happens. Yeah. But what if we change the way we think about hope? What if it weren't something to think about, but something to do? We want to take this concept of hope and turn it into a verb, an action, something that we can actively participate in. It can be hard to wrap our heads around that, but we think it's doable. There's so many puns that only I think are funny. There are ways that we can turn hope into action. Kindness, for example. I often say that, thank you. Big round of applause for Andrew, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm talking. My Christmas wishes, right? Rude. This one's cutting out too. Is it just me? What did you do?
Your voice is cutting out.
Oh.
Sorry.
I often say that kindness is a choice. And kindness can be defiant. Sometimes it takes more strength to be kind in the face of hopelessness and sadness than it does to be hurtful or cruel. It can be hard not to let that overcome you. But when we think of kindness or hope as something we can do, it gives us some sort of control over that feeling. It's a push to get past that negative way of thinking. This, however, doesn't mean that we need to, oh, sorry, I lost my place. This, however, doesn't mean that we have to sit back and grin and bear it. It's okay to acknowledge that the holidays can be hard. For many of us, it's the most wonderful time of the year, but for some, not so much. Honesty can also be defiant, and another way of putting hope into action. It can be hard to face hard truths. But sometimes facing those hard truths opens up avenues to find hope within yourself and transcend those challenges. Honesty has a duality. It's something we can both turn inwards and also extend outwards. Sometimes it takes courage to be honest with ourselves and others. It challenges our desire to protect our narrative or our relationships. But growth is something that comes from being challenged. Maybe just think of a time when you needed to be honest to support growth. Was it for you? Was it for someone else? Honesty and hope can be two ends of the same rope. It can be a defiant act to practice honesty in the hopes of sparking change. Sometimes it's about recognizing what you can and can't do. But we believe that hope as a verb is something each and every one of us is capable of. So it's just like a little group activity. You know, turn to your neighbor, turn behind you. And talk with your neighbor. How have you put hope into action recently?
And then we're also, as you're talking, I'm going to pass out some pens and sticky notes. And what we'd like you to do is if you can put examples that you come up with of ways you put hope into action, just add them to our prayer table up here. Maybe like stick them up here. It's a little tough, but you can figure it out. You're all very bright people.
Don't put them near the candles.
Be careful of the candles.
We don't want hope to light on fire.
All right, so talk to each other, talk to your neighbor about this. What was the question again? How have you put hope into action?
How have you
put hope into action? And I'll come pass these out.
All right, you have, starting now, 10 seconds. All right, did everybody get a chance to grab a sticky note and write down? No? Slackers.
Now remember, once you've written an example down, come put it up here. So far we only have one and I can't read it. That means it's probably Connell's. There's one over here. No. Yeah, it's someone else's. All right. Okay, nice. Once you have an example, come write it up here. Or write it before you put it up here. And then put it up here. Very good. Well done. A+. I feel like I should start crooning. Ooh, la, la, la. La, la, la. I don't know this song. La la la. How are people doing? People still talking? You still writing examples? Where are we at? You guys are done, because I gave you an A+. Oh, are you gonna write one? I won't put you on the spot, I'm sorry. It was very rude of me. Here we go. Good job, Fern. I'll give you a B-. I'm kidding. Oh, yes, thank you. You can return your pens and stuff to my very fancy paper, not paper, this is plastic. Plastic bag. Thank you, Marlianne. Very good, very good. All right, Connell. Here we go. I won't watch, so I don't know which one is yours. Oh. Oh, sorry, it's down there. You wrote your name on it, Connell? Good.
Fern, I give you a B+. Thanks, yeah, no worries. Who clapped? All right, well, everybody clap for yourselves. Good job engaging. Oh, more enthusiastically than that. Yeah. Woo! Stick it out! Okay. Yeah, thank you for participating. As we move through our service a little bit later, you'll have a chance to light some candles. If you'd like to, you can come up and read some sticky notes as you do so, just as, as you'd like. So we've talked about hope is a verb, and then we want to extend that. Zoe, we ended the thing. This is so inappropriate. So what's another way hope can be operationalized?
Ooh, good word.
I don't care if you don't know what that means, Google it. So coming back to our overarching theme of social justice these past couple months, we want to acknowledge the way that hope and justice play together. For so many people, justice is predicated on the hope that things can change. And for many people, they have to put the hope into the world as action. Hope can be rebellious. Let's talk about Star Wars. We're gonna link this to Star... Andrew, I'm talking. I'm talking! Someone go beat up Smith. So we're going to link it to Star Wars, because everything can relate to Star Wars. The Empire... Dun, 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 dun. The Empire was pervasive. It was across the whole galaxy. But the rebellion persisted despite this. They believed things could get better. They were defiantly hopeful in a galaxy that had settled itself to be dark. Yoda. It would have probably been easier to submit to the status quo, just go with the flow, resign themselves to a darker existence. But that wasn't good enough. They fought against the system in place that kept people oppressed despite the challenges, despite the losses. Sometimes, in the face of hopelessness, the hardest thing you can do is stay hopeful. But the hardest things we do are often the things most worth doing.
Andrew's turn it is.
That was good. You can do the Grinch. You can do Yoda. All green creatures. Yeah, too bad. Okay, let's talk about this thing called the Christmas story, shall we? We're in a church. It's a worship service. We should probably talk about it. That's a really cute background. Nice job, Leanne. Everybody clap for Leanne. Woo! I really like that. So we know this story, right? The story of the baby born from a virgin mother, born in a manger, visited by 3 wise men. It's told every year, often in pageants. And I think sometimes familiarity can breed complacency. We sometimes stop paying attention. Maybe we even start asking, why is this important? Jesus hasn't done that cool stuff yet he'll do later. Why does this matter? I'm going to tell you why it matters. So stay tuned. I did this show event a couple years ago with Nick Coates, the minister at Red Deer Lake United Church. And it's this thing he'd done for a couple years, and he asked me to do the music with him that year. And it's basically, he did kind of a deconstruction of the Christmas story and did a deep dive into the history and the context and kind of these deep themes as to why he felt the Christmas story really mattered on a level that we didn't always talk about anymore. And it really was moving for me. It really resonated with me. So I'm going to shamelessly steal some pieces and tell them to you. But only some, because then you'll just have to tune in next time we do something like that. Now, the first thing I think is important is just first of all remembering, why do stories in general matter? Why do we care about stories? Think of your favorite movie, TV show, book. Why does it matter to you? Usually because it has some kind of meaning, some kind of impact on you. Maybe inspires hope in you. Fiction or nonfiction, stories hold power, meaning, and purpose. And this Christmas story is a story of liberation, a story of courage, a story of defiant hope that resonates because underneath it all is a story to let us know that the darkness will never overcome the light. And that's a story I think we need to hear more than once when we're facing despair. This is why it gets told again and again. This is why we love we love current versions of this, Star Wars, superheroes. It's kind of that same theme of hope. This was one of the OG stories of hope. So what's important to know, one of the important things to know, this is going to be the Cliff Notes version, is that at the time of this story, in biblical times, we were under Roman rule, an empire, just like Star Wars. Thank you. Yes. There we go. And this really was an oppressive empire. I almost said impressive. Oppressive. Different, very different, okay? Impressive in a bad way. Remember how Jesus was crucified? This empire would sometimes crucify entire towns just to send a message. And people were required to refer to Caesar as Lord. This was like a thing you had to do. There was this call and response thing on the street. And if you didn't do it, you could be executed. Now, during this time of oppression, this message started to spread that the Messiah was coming, that this Lord was coming. And the message that was spread specifically used the language Lord, the very term you could be executed for calling anyone but Caesar. So right from day one, before the birth had even happened, before, right as the pregnancy was just beginning, the news of this coming birth was message of a defiant hope. Repurposing this language, letting the people under oppression know that the worst is almost over, that liberation is coming, that hope is just around the corner. Then the next rebellious piece is when the angel came to Mary. This is one of my favorite parts that Nick talked about. The angel came to Mary and asked her consent for this to happen. This was a patriarchal time, right? Like we think historical times, the most patriarchal time. Men essentially owned women at this time. They had all the authority and decision-making power, but the angel didn't go to Joseph. The angel went to Mary. And the angel didn't say, this is what's happening. The angel asked, do you consent? That's a pretty badass thing if you ask me. But now, maybe the most important thing of all, Mary said yes. One of the most courageous women in history took a defiant stance of hope and said yes, that something better is coming. And now they were kids, right? Mary and Joseph were these like teenagers, I guess. But they were essentially kids. They're young. And they both said yes to having this baby. As young parents, so this is kind of in this time, they probably would have gotten disowned for this. And now you add in this part of the story where King Herod starts hunting for this baby because it's a threat to the throne. And so he's hunting down Mary and Joseph. This is like intense stuff. Now the easy road would have been to submit, give up the baby, just give in, especially in a time without Google Maps. I thought that was so funny when I wrote it that night. It's not that funny. I forgot I wrote that. Oh man, nice one, Andrew. But they said yes, they traveled, they found the manger, they had the baby. So there's all these elements and themes, and there's lots more. Like when Nick talked about it, he went deep into it, and it was very cool. But there's all these elements that are each on their own kind of this rebellious, liberating, defiant message going against what was the norm, against what was considered okay at the time, but all with the purpose of sending hope. So all of this is to say, I think one of the things that stands out to me, the whole point of the Christmas story is this. First of all, we want to name the monster. Name your Caesar. Name your King Herod. Name the thing that feels like it rules you with despair. We need to name that. We need to know it. We need to acknowledge it. Because we all have monsters in our lives. And then know that you are not alone. God is with you, and in whatever form or image you believe God to be, know that God is a God of absolutely liberating, rebellious, and defiant hope that sends the most simple but most important message that the light will always overcome the darkness. And I think that's one of the most important messages we can hear. Now, we're going to sing you a little song that relates to this. You might know this one. You might have heard it from time to time, so we'd really love you to sing it with us. This is a version of the hymn carol. I've been struggling with what do you call Christmas carols that are hymns? Hymn carol. Songs. Thank you, Josh. We're going to sing Go Tell It on the Mountain. Because that's pretty about this whole thing I was just talking about, right? So, we're going to get ready. You get yourselves ready, all right? You know what? I think we should stand up for this one. Can you stand for this one? I think this is an important one. Let's stand up. Plus, making you stand gave me a second to grab my guitar, so. Everything's intentional when you're up here on stage. Okay, good. Just tuning my guitar. I'm ready. Are you guys ready? Is the band ready? Good job.
Here you were bugging us.
I know, it's all me. I'm the problem, aren't I? Me? Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Nailed it. All right. You ready over there? All right. Hey, why don't we just have a quick round of applause for Saeed. He guest starred with us last month, but he's officially joined us in the band this month. So welcome, Saeed. All right, let's sing a song. tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.
While shepherds kept there watching o'er silent flocks by night, behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. The shepherds feared and trembled when low above the earth rang out the angels' chorus that hailed the Savior's birth. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain.
We don't do that chorus twice. Oh, my bad. Okay. Here we go. Into the second verse. Everything's fine. Down in a lowly manger, a humble Christ was born. And God sent us salvation, that blessed Christmas morn. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Again. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Just kidding. Gotcha. Gotcha. You can sit down. I actually really wanted to keep going there. I love that song. Anyway. We have a video, right? Is that? Okay, go ahead. Sorry. to light candles for the prayer, as we often like to do. There is the lighter to get things started, and then the sticks to kind of keep it going. Yeah, so we're going to play a little bit of music. Invite you to come light a prayer for whatever you feel you need, but maybe something kind of in light of this idea of defiant hope. Whether it's a prayer of defiant hope, whether it's a prayer for somebody else, and helping them have courage to be defiantly hopeful, whatever kind of resonates for you. So please come on up, light a candle in prayer.
Let me carry your burden. If something's not right, I will let you know. Like the paint that's drying on a heart that's broke. Let me carry your burden. Get you on a high when you're feeling low. When the weight's too heavy but you won't let go.
Come to me, my brother, and I will sit with you a while. Pretty soon I'll see you smile, and you know you will. No matter how much you are hurting right now, you know that everything will change in time. So let me carry your burden. Let me carry your burden. When your mouth's on fire but your mind is cold, and you're fanning flames that won't keep you warm. Come to me, my brother, and I will sit with you a while. Pretty soon I'll see you smile, and you know you will. carry your burden, oh brother mine. So let me carry your burden. Come tomorrow, you'll be right as rain. It'll quench your fire, wash away your stain. Come to me, my brother, and I will sit with you a while. Pretty soon I'll see you smile, and you know you will. No matter how much you are hurting right now, you know that everything will change in time. Oh, I just might see in another life. Got no dog here in this fight. I could carry your burden, oh brother mine. All right, Smith's gonna start doing some wild setup behind me here. We're gonna do some big old instrument switches for the next song. But while he's doing that, I'm gonna wrap up the theme for you. So I think we have a choice. We can choose to see the world the way it is, or we can choose to act on the hope that it can be different. Rather than resigning ourselves to the way things are, we can choose to keep acting to help make the world what we think it could be. It's okay to defy reality and expectations. Let me give you an example you might know of. Everyone had resigned to the fact that the Grinch, Josh, quick, do your impression.
Hate, 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 double hate, loathe entirely.
Hey, that was really good.
Hey, thanks.
Good job. So everyone had resigned to the fact that the Grinch was this horrible creature that was destined to always hate Christmas. But Cindy Lou Who remained defiantly hopeful that there is good in everyone, even in the Grinch. And by sticking to this, by acting on this hope through her relentless kindness to him, it changed him and it saved Christmas, everyone. So by remaining defiantly hopeful, we can spark change in other people, spark the flame of defiant hope that keeps us warm on the coldest of nights. Now let's see a little clip from the Grinch.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2.
Yes, clap for the Grinch. Wonderful movie. I like to watch it every Christmas. It's good. I think that's still the best version. Josh disagrees. He Oh, was that you, Seamus? Get out.
Yeah, Seamus knows what's going on.
Security! No, we're allowed to have different opinions, right? We're allowed to agree to disagree.
Guys, Andrew likes the old one because he was around when they made it. Oh, you're old.
I'm only like, what, 6 years older than you?
Yeah. Prove my point.
All right, we have a special little song for you. We've been working very hard on. In that very same pandemic service called Christmas is Awesome, we arranged, Smith arranged, and then we recorded this version of Carol of the Bells, kind of like a heavy rock version of it. And it was really cool because at the time we were like, this is fun because we recorded it at home, right? This was during the pandemic, and we thought this is something we could never pull off live, so let's do something crazy. And then this month we were like, let's pull it off live. So we're gonna play it live for you, and we're gonna see how it goes. But I'm very defiantly hopeful. Nailed it. All right. How are we doing? You ready, Smith? You believe so. Is your guitar on? Is it working? All right. Are you ready, James? Nice. Are you ready, Nicole? Great. Are you ready, Amanda? Great. Okay. Joshua? Joshua? Jordan? No. I always forget. I know it too. Joshua? Joshua Eric Donald Carr.
Yeah, you nailed it. Thank you for revealing my entire full.
I'm sorry. I thought about it as I was saying it. I was like, maybe you don't want this said on the mic. Sorry. I like 2 middle names, though. That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Charlie is Charlie Emerson Arthur Nicholson. He has 2 middle names.
Copied me.
I copied you.
Yep.
Well, you do have the naming rights to my firstborn child. Anyways. Let's stall no longer. We can do this! Got it! Okay. Ready? Sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to the little week and the whole ding dong and go. That is the song with joyful ring. Like a cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising their sound, or Ellendale telling their tale. Give me the ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas.
Song will be said long without end. There's joyful tone to every home.
Sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising their sound for Ellendale, telling their tale. Give me the ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Thank you. Oh man, we practiced that one so many times earlier this afternoon. Woo! All right. I got to do a little guitar switch here. But while we're doing that, I'm going to say thank you to some important people. Now, how we like to do this is I start kind of listing everybody that we're thankful for. Oh, thank you. I didn't undo that. Oh, that was so good until that moment. Okay, thank you. And you're all going to do a round of applause, and we'll just keep going, and then I'll get tired and take a breath, and then we'll do some more. Okay, you know the routine by now. So, first of all, thank you to St. Thomas United Church for hosting us and feeding us tonight. Thank you to Tracy for lighting our Advent candles and just being wonderful. We love Tracy. Thank you to the Naked Faith Band for being wonderful and incredible and just playing wonderful music. Thanks to Leanne for creating and running the slideshow. Thanks to Simon for running the live stream. Thanks to Brenda for all her work behind the scenes. Thanks to all of you for coming. Thanks to working tirelessly, setting all of the sound up, making us sound better than we had to. Kaylee, Sonic Boom Curtis! Okay, let me take a break for a second. Oh, that last one, I almost passed out too much. I got so excited. Thanks. Just let me go through the list for a second in my head. I know the last person I need to thank. I think those are the main people, right? Thanks to Smith for doing these wonderful guitar swaps for me. Yeah, it's really been on point tonight. Very good. But I just want to say one more special thank you. I'm always very grateful to play with them, but all of these people on stage, they work very, very hard and give up, free time to be able to practice and perform at a high quality every month. And I love it. I'm very grateful. It brings a lot of joy into my life. So thank you to James, Nicole, Smith, Amanda, Saeed, Josh. Thank you! And, of course, thanks to Joanna for being my wife and to Charlie for being my son. Woo!
And everybody put your hands together for Andrew for being our host!
Hey, you know what? This was fun, everybody. I had a nice time. I hope you did too.
And thank you to Santa.
Thanks, Santa. Okay, I think we have a few announcements, potentially. Yeah, so the 18th, which is this Sunday, that's 2 days away. There's a young adult Christmas party. It's happening at the center. Talk to Zoe if you have questions about that. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty awesome time. The pub night normally is on Thursdays. That's a Tuesday, I think. Tuesday, December 27th, because we wanted something kind of right in the middle of holidays where hopefully a bunch of people are back for Christmas. And so we'll get a huge turnout to that. And January 8th, that's a Sunday, Dirty Theology, where that's for young adults as well. You explore topics related to faith, spirituality, the Bible, Jesus, all these good things, but then in an interesting way, with a twist, you might say. Friday, January 20th is Naked Faith. That's the next one. Please come to that. We're down at our South location, Living Spirit United Church. And then January 26th is the next young adult pub night. All right, there we go. Those are your announcements. Let's sing one more song, okay? Please stand. Stand, dance, clap, sing. Right now, go! All right. I'm singing the first verse with you, right? Oh, my Lord. Yes. I just had a brain fart. I was like, who's singing what part of this song? Holy, this is what happens when we don't practice this one. Yikes. Okay, here we go.
Hey, write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out or looked down on. Do your best, try everything you can. Don't worry what they tell themselves. You're away. Here we go! It just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, alright. No, they're all the same. You're doing better on your own, so don't buy it.
you feel left out, looked down on.
Just do your best. Do your best. Do everything you can. Do everything you can. Don't worry what your bitter hearts are gonna say. It just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright, alright. It just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright.
Hey, thanks for coming to Naked Faith, everybody. We loved having you all here. If you're a youth, stick around. There will be games starting up at the hall in about 10 or 15 minutes. If you're a young adult, find Zoe. You're going to the pub. I think usually BP's. Is that right, Zoe? BP's? Is that where you're going? Boston Pizza? Oh, Jameson? Okay, well, talk to Zoe after. If you're a young adult, you want to go to the pub. And the rest of you, thanks for coming. Go home. Just kidding. You can hang out for a bit. All right. Good night, everyone.